to make somebody else's revelation alive by taking it through your own spirit. Some people go to extremes and they think that I will move only in my own revelation, and they think it makes them decrease, makes them smaller when they use somebody else's revelation. That's wrong. Revelation cannot be somebody else's. It's God's. If it's a true revelation, the author is one, the Holy Spirit. He gave this revelation, and through whom that doesn't matter. I often don't say the name of the book to people, the author. I don't say the names. Even if I speak of people that you may not, but I don't say the name so that people don't get dependent on the name. It doesn't matter. It's not important. But when I feel those vibrations, that people are interested in things that are not proper, not needed, I cut it off. I don't say the name of the book, the channel, or the author, or who said that. I know who said this sometimes, but sometimes I forget. That doesn't matter, and I don't give this information because, why do you need this? You know what kind of syndrome is this? To know the angel's name. What is your name? In the modern interpretation, it would sound like, can I make a selfie with you? That's a selfie syndrome. What is your name? Oh, it's so cool here, and just pull him in. The girls would probably think, like, will you marry me? And he says, why do you need my name? Look at a different thing. I'm the angel of the Lord. I'm the messenger of God Sabaoth. Stop worshiping me. And he lifts up the prophet, the apostle, and he takes him up to God again. And this is the reviving the somebody else's prophet, and it's true, and it's God who said this. You don't have to humiliate yourself. You don't have to feel secondary or minor because it's gone through you. When I see this battle, this fight for being major, and I remember when Sister shared with us, she's a prophet, she came to visit us here, and she said, here, your city is an apostolic city. Sometimes I come to cities and people want me to prophesy to them that this is an apostolic city, and it's not. And here, when I landed at the airport and I put my feet on the land, I realized I had come to the city or to the place of the apostolic grace. And we were talking, and I shared visions, and we were in St. Petersburg or in Moscow, and I shared wonderful revelations with her that the Lord gave us. And she was like, is this really what the Lord has given to you? Yes. Wow, that's so pure, she said. And I said to her, we don't attend the prophetic conferences in America. We have the source of revelation. Maybe it's not that great sounding. Maybe we don't have that golden channel, but it's just pure. It's running on the ground, through the ground, and it's very pure. And she said, it's so wonderful, so clean, so pure, so right you do that you don't attend those conferences. Because I think she's like one of the frequent visitors there. I said, why? Because she said, because there's a competition. We fight to be more exact, more precise. Of course, they kind of steal from one another, whose and when, and all these things. Even if you're not a prophet, you understand. I've been pretty clear. To steal means to steal. Like you've heard it before, and then you take it up, you make it like kind of vague, and then you present it as yourself, a little bit, at least a little piece. And you must know that it's like plenty of that stuff on the internet, don't you know? Well, I hope you do. Otherwise, what are we talking about? You must hear that in different places because you listen in English, and things are responding, resonating, and I see that even in the spirit. It's like chess playing, checkers playing, all these things are moving on the board. Lord, so much work there is. So do not be afraid to revive, to make somebody else's revelation alive for yourself. You take it through your own spirit, and it's pure, and we'll learn it. We teach it so in the Bible schools, and it will be useful for you to know. You take the prophetic notes in order to teach in the Bible school, but you've got to let it go through your own spirit, and after that you write down a very detailed note of your own, because it will have your own color, your own spirit, your own shade, and somebody else's revelation becomes your own, because it has been taken through your own spirit. And Paul says such words: greet all the brothers with the holy kiss. And I tell you to read this letter to all the other, in all the other places. And sometimes he asks to exchange the letters. It was the revelation, and he gives it as God's will. He says, live by this revelation that God has given me. It was normal for all the churches. The bishops and the elders could have said, oh, doesn't God reveal it to ourselves? No, this is bigger, so it's very important for us to revive somebody else's revelation through your own spirit, have it work for you. And Paul was taking the decision of the Apostles' Council to all the churches when they were deciding what to do with the Gentiles. He was carrying it as the will of God. And though he was an apostle himself, he had no sickness, no disease like that this is not my revelation, am I carrying it? So this is wisdom, and in that way we will escape the failures.